All right, welcome to tonight's team call. Thank you so much for showing up for this. Hello, Ashley, wherever you are on the screen. Okay, so we have a couple announcements, and then we will get started with all of the great topics she has to talk about. Okay, so we have the leaderboard right here. Let me pull up Court's points as well. So Courtney's team, Courtney's at 12, Katie's at 12, Emily's at 8, Kenna's at 8, Claire with 8, Amy with 6, Carly with 6, Brittany with 4, Haley with 2, Shira with 2, and Emily S with 2. So congrats to all of Courtney's team. Those are just fucking crazy numbers. Those are awesome.
And my brand new coach, Miranda's on the call today, and she's been in class like all day. So
hold on, I gotta turn my oven timer off. Well, maybe not. It's gonna go off in 10 seconds. Sorry. Okay. Our board. So we've got myself at 18, Marie Ottaway at 14, Carrie Steelman-Schmidt at 8, Cassandra Steelman at 4. Or no, I think Cassandra Steelman's at 8 or 10.
She's at 12 now.
Oh, she's at 12. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Allison Smith at 4, Kristen Garvin at 4, Steve Osher at 4, Shanika Stovey at 4, Ashley Greenway, I think she's at 6. Happy birthday to you, beautiful woman. On the board, we've got Lisbeth Koning, Danielle Rode, Whitney Shaw, Madeline Moto, Trisha Soper, Tim Ottaway, Kristen Garvin. No, those are wrong. There's like double names. Michelle Katz, Katie May, Melissa V, Lauren G, Deidre Wilson, Lindsay Moore, Megan Thompson, and Kim Jones. So if you are on there and you have points, I'm sorry. We love you. We just had and then I've got.
Make sure you guys mute yourselves, please.
Hold on. I have Jess's points. Okay, so Jess is at 8, Sarah at 4, Sarah V at 4, Meg at 2, and Jamie at 2. So amazing. It's August 28th. We are going to stay on after team call for about 5 minutes after Ashley's done speaking to basically tell you guys how to push for the end of the month, because we have, 3 days left. You have tomorrow and basically Labor Day weekend, and you guys are going to be out with friends and family, probably. We're going out of town. But I'm still pushing for higher Success Club numbers, and everyone else should as well. If you have the promo codes and you haven't used them, make sure to use them. I think in the Beachbody Champions, they posted, and that's a Facebook group if you're not in there, they posted a new challenge they're doing. They're giving away some free swag or something for the promo codes. But what they said in that caption was don't just go and talk to your person and be like, hey, I have $10 off. You're going to get $30 off this package. You should sign up tonight to use this promo code. That's not what you want to sell. You want to sell you, and you want to sell this healthy lifestyle. So if you're just trying to push that promo code to hit Success Club tonight with that $10 off, it's not going to do you any good, because those people need to know that you're selling yourself, because you are valuable. You are giving them yourself as their coach and their mentor to help keep them accountable. So make sure you go into the conversations with the mindset of I'm selling this healthy lifestyle. I'm not selling this promo code. I'm not just hitting this girl's inbox and following up with her so I make money, right? So make sure to just keep that in your mind as well. We have 3-day refresh on Monday, which if you haven't ordered it, you probably won't get it in time anyways. So just as a reminder for all of you. Tuesday. So this is huge. Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, so Tuesday, vegan pumpkin spice Shakeology launches. That's in 6 days. Hopefully all of you are getting it. Even if you're not a pumpkin fan, please try this Shakeology. It is so good. It is not very pumpkin-y. It is subtle flavors of pumpkin. It's really good. If you are talking to people on social media about it, if you follow me on social media, I've been posting on my stories asking for people to try it out with me so I can use their testimonials. You do make $18 off of a box. It's only 14 packets. That's why the commission is so low. But it is $74 for customers, and as coaches, we get it for $56. And then we have some Canada girls on here as well, so it's $67 as coach price in Canada. So what TV means, just really quick, I know this is kind of taking up time, but TV is team volume. So that means not what we sell, but what our downline sells. So if, say, like, you know, Marie's my grandma coach, if I sell pumpkin spice, that's going to go to her TV because it's like I'm on her team, right? So you always want to be selling other things other than challenge packs. Like you want to hit Success Club, but you want to be pushing like vegan pumpkin spice Shakeology, regular Shakeology, enterprise, collagen, because it's going to boost that team volume, and volume equals money in the business. So you always want to get on the new product launches, especially like the new Shakeology flavors. If you're waiting for peppermint mocha, get a box of this. It's cheap. Just get it and try it out. You never know if you're going to like it or not. And there's a bunch of recipes you can make with it as well. So it does not help you hit Success Club because of, it's just, you can't have it on auto ship. It's just like a one-time thing. And the stuff's too low to get Success Club. So, okay, so into the good stuff. We have Ashley as our guest speaker. She's going to be talking about juggling coaching with another job, because I know we have a lot of people on here that have part-time jobs, full-time jobs. Like, you guys are killing it out there with this coaching thing and being full-time workers. So she's kind of going to like talk about that and anything else she wants to. She's really nervous. I don't think she's ever done a team call before. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're here with open arms, and we are a pretty chill team. So we just want to listen to you and gather information. You can take your time. You don't have to like rush through or anything either. So a little bit about her. She's 32 years old, and she's beautiful. She's been a coach for about a year. She's currently ranked Emerald. She lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She's a mama to a Jack Russell, and she's working in the business part-time, and her full-time job is working in corporate America in healthcare as a pharmacist and a district manager. So she obviously has a lot on her plate. She put a sad face by like, she's currently ranked Emerald and she's sad. Like, it really doesn't matter, but we love that you're going to give us information tonight on how to juggle it. So you can go over whenever, if you have a PowerPoint to share, you can share that as well or whatever. So
you're a pharmacist, like, hells yeah. Not an easy job. I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. So I want to start by a quick show of hands. Who attended Summit this year? From who that attended was like in the Emerald or the below Diamond like leadership track? So a few people. So part of the presentation I took from put my spin on one of the presentations that we had at Summit. So I'm gonna share my screen here because I found it super impactful. The thing that I've struggled the most with is how to work the business working full time. So as Bailey said, I work full time. I am a pharmacist, and I manage 15 retail pharmacy and front stores. When I joined, I was also in school full time, finishing my master's degree. So time was definitely, my biggest challenge. And I've tried a lot of different things to kind of figure out how to work the business, and some things didn't work and some things certainly did. And I've been coaching for a little over a year, and I've been very close to Diamond multiple times, but had a lot of life curveballs that kind of got in the way. So what I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to hit on not the details of all of this. So some of this, might be repetitive, but hearing it from someone else is always a great idea. So I'm going to talk about the 10 activities of an income producing coach and really my biggest takeaways from this. So I think everyone has heard over and over again that being proof that the products work is like the most important thing. So figuring out like what workout is going to work for you and commit to. So, especially as a new coach or an Emerald coach, we all want to try all of the product launches, But for me, like when Transform 20 came out, I stuck with it and hated it and tried to keep showing up for it. But I realized it wasn't my program and I was falling off the wagon. So I just decided to switch back over to Lift 4 so that I could be proof of the products and not showing up, faking my way through a program. So I think that it's sometimes not easy to accept that you're not going to just continue to follow along, but you really want to commit to whatever program that you're going to do and make sure that you are trying to finish the program. But for me, I don't know, that particular program was just not my jam. So I went back to Lift 4. So starting and finishing as many programs as you can. We can't really do things that we're not going to be asking our coaches and clients to do. So as we have new clients joining or coaches, if we're asking them to drink their shakes and start and stop their program, to make sure that we're doing that. And then two, prepare your mindset every day. Being as busy as I was, it was really easy and still can be at times to just push personal development aside. But I find that when I do that is when my business suffers the most. So finding the pockets of time that I can listen to personal growth books and personal development books. So for me, that's in the car. I spend hours a day in the car driving from one store to the next. Usually I'm in the car anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours a day. So that's, very valuable time that if I'm not on work calls, I can be listening to Audible or listening to short videos and podcasts or I made a YouTube playlist too, because sometimes you just need that like super motivational, super inspirational, quick 10-minute, 5-minute video. And so if you go on YouTube, there's thousands out there and you can just create a playlist. You don't have to search for something, or you don't have to be like super in tune where you want to be taking notes, and just find something that's going to motivate you or lift you up. So I find always having 1 or 2 books on Audible that I'm listening to. I have a business related book that I'm listening to, and then something from a more personal standpoint that I'm listening to, because when I'm in the car for 2 hours, it moves too fast if I'm doing a business. I haven't had a chance to apply anything that I'm doing. So I always have something else that's more from a personal standpoint and less business standpoint, and then my YouTube playlists that are ready to go. The other thing that I've done, because there's thousands of recommendations, that I think it can be overwhelming. You hear on a national wake-up call or a team call or a recommendation that you see on Facebook of the next personal development that somebody else is reading or somebody else is doing. And I found myself trying to stop the book that I'm reading and go to the next book, which isn't a good thing because you want to finish what you're doing. So I've made it a habit. This is kind of an old list, but I just have a notepad that's on my phone with it's probably up to 50 or 60 books now that I've heard somebody talk about somewhere, and I just add it to the list and keep adding to the list. So there's always something for me to listen to without stopping what I'm currently working on and jumping to that new hot book or the new podcast or book that everyone else seems to be listening to or reading, because you don't have to be reading what everybody else is reading or listening to what else everybody else. That's why it's personal growth and personal development, because it's about where you're at in your business. So for me, I found to just write it down. If I hear someone mention something, write the book down. If I'm, a chapter or 2 in and I can't relate to the book, then move on, just because it's working or someone else says it's the greatest book or the greatest Audible that they've ever heard. And if it's not speaking to you, move on. Maybe you can come back to it in another life phase or another time, but it needs to speak to you with where you're at in your life. So obviously the business activity tracker, making sure that we're utilizing the business activity tracker. So one thing that working the business full-time, working full-time and then working this business, that sometimes I've found myself getting discouraged because I didn't check every single box on the business activity tracker, or I didn't, there was a day that came up where I haven't been able to, work on the business activity tracker, and I've really just done, my personal development, my workout, and really haven't done some of those business activities. So I made it a goal for myself to make sure that I'm utilizing the tracker at least 5 days a week, instead of if it's 7 or it's nothing at all. You can find yourself getting less discouraged if you're setting that realistic goal. So certainly I try for 7 days a week, and I always get my workout and I always get my vitals with my shake and my personal development. But I mean, the reality is when you're working 60 hours a week and then have school or other commitments on top of it, sometimes the 7 days a week can be hard to do. So completing it in small pockets of the time and having small blitz periods throughout the day. And then working on expanding your list. So I always work from a list. I have used electronic lists. I've used paper lists, and I still use a variety of it. But finding a tracking tool and a list tool that works for you, and again, not that works for everybody else, but something that works for you, is going to be the key. And more recently, I have found that exploring what other people on other teams, which is part of why I'm even on this team, to share with you guys a perspective from someone else on another team. Finding what works for you isn't always what your upline's doing or what everybody else on your team is doing from a tracking perspective or a list perspective. So exploring what other options are out there. So I wanted to share what I've recently been using and has been making like the hugest impact on my business lately, that I don't think there's a single person, any of my uplines or anyone on my team is utilizing. So I've recently started using my connection builder, which is an online database for network marketers. And it's allowed me to like take my tracking to of my business activities to like a whole nother level, because the follow-up piece has been the piece that I have struggled the most. I can get the initial messages, and when I don't hear back or they tell me to check back in later, I have like failed miserably in my business. I've tried pen and paper. I throw it away. I have piles behind me of pen and paper lists and tracking and follow-ups that I being on the go so much, it was just difficult to always have that with me. I tried Streak. I love sending emails via Streak, but I hate Streak from the follow-up perspective. It just didn't work for me. So I've recently just started using the My Connection Builder, and it tracks all my activities over time. It tracks my touch bases, my exposures, my contacts. This is from when it's a little outdated, but I put goals in for how many exposures that I want, where I'm sending an invite, how many contacts I want to add to the mix. You can put your lifestyle goals in there, which is, fitness, personal development, drinking your shake, spending time with your family, like whatever you want to track that you're going to commit to doing every single day, you can track that there, as well as your income. And then it tracks all of the different stages of where you're talking with different people. So I think the key with this is finding what works for you specifically, because it's not necessarily what everyone else is doing that's going to work for the way your mind thinks and the way your organizational skills are. So that's what I've been using. And then here, like 5, a business plan. So what's your theme going to be for the week? So something that I have struggled with is making sure I've got a plan for my marketing plan for the month, and making sure that I commit to it at the beginning. So as I've progressed in my, year as a coach, I've made a much better commitment to weekend planning or monthly planning. For this week, I'm focused on clients. This week, I'm focused on coaches, and then planning my posts that go with it. So in a couple slides here, I'll kind of show you what I do for planning my posts out through the week, because I spend a good chunk of time on every other weekend to plan my posts for the next 2 weeks. And then I can make tweaks and changes based on things that happen in life, but I have it essentially planned out and scheduled and mapped out based on my goals, so that no matter how busy I get from work or how tired I get from my job, I'm not sitting in my car or 8 o'clock at night trying to get a post up that's just crappy content, and I'm posting for the sake of getting a post in for the day and not spending an hour that I could be inviting and following up because I'm having like a brain fart and don't know what to post. So making sure you have the right theme, and depending on what that theme is, making sure you're posting to attract that. And then setting big goals for yourself. So whether that's an income goal, whether it's a rank goal, and then making sure to set a reminder in your calendar that's going to pop up and ask you how you're doing towards that goal. So if your goal is to be diamond or star diamond or 5-star diamond, or you have an income goal, put it out there on a calendar, and then make sure you put some reminders in there to see where you're at, so it pops up on your phone. During, I think it was this session at Summit, they had us put a reminder in our phones for, 4 weeks from Summit, or 6 weeks from Summit, I can't remember exactly what it was, to remind yourself, did you take action, from what you learned at Summit? And so when that popped up on my phone, I was like, did I take action? And I kind of have my whole little notebook that I was writing in from Summit. And I mean, I've actually taken a lot of action. So it's been pretty awesome to see that the plans that I put into place and that reminder pop up and be like, yeah, I took a lot of action. So making sure you're setting those goals and setting reminders up for yourself to be able to reach those goals. The next activity that's going to really help with producing income and consistency is having those weekly benchmarks. So this is, again, where the business activity tracker comes into place, or whatever tracking tool that you're going to utilize. Are there a certain number of conversations that you're aimed to have per week, a certain number of invites or connections that you're making? What's your weekly goal for people who are joining your free group or your challenge group or joining as coaches, and then tracking that to make sure that you are, checking in on that as the weeks go and the months go, so you can really track, are the activities that you're doing and generating, leading to the success that you are really hoping to achieve. And then 8 here, challenge groups that get results. So I'm not really sure how you guys operate on your team, if you have one large challenge group that you're continually adding people in, or if you guys do challenge groups on your own, but just making sure that whatever your challenge group is, that you're an active participant in it, again, being proof that the products are working. If you want your clients to show up, if you want your coaches to show up, then you have to run and lead them ahead of them. When we bring challengers on, the absolute last thing we want to do is have a challenger come on board. We get their challenge pack, we get them started with their program, and then we abandon them. We don't check in on them. We don't ask them what they're struggling with. We don't offer suggestions, and we just kind of let them go MIA on us, and we're not following up. So, being a challenger ourselves and being active in that's going to be important, but then just not abandoning, your clients just because they didn't respond to you or life got busy, making sure that you're still following up, you're still checking in with them, so that we've got that, so that you make sure that they're going to hopefully be success. And the more successful your clients are going to be, the more likely that they're going to want to turn into a working coach with you and run the business with you. If they see that you're checking out on them and not checking in with them, then they're not really going to understand what coaching's about. They're going to be less apt to beginning results, and they're going to be less apt to wanting to join your team as a coach. And then if they do join as a coach, how are they going to treat their future coaches and clients? So it's really just important that you're leading by example in your challenge groups and supporting your challengers to bring fun and to get results. So 9 here is to be consistent and intentional in terms of a social media presence. It's easy to just throw random posts up and random content up when we're not, when we're in a hurry, and that's not necessarily a bad thing to do once in a while, to throw up a quick post. But if you're not intentional with your posts, the message isn't going to be conveyed correctly to your followers, and the traction marketing that we're all striving for isn't going to be successful. So making sure you share your journey with a purpose so that you're adding value. And this is where the planning really comes into play when you're busy, or you're going to be on vacation, or you're going to have less time to be able to commit to intentionally having a certain presence on your social media that's really going to fit with your theme, because you want to add value. It can't be every day you're going to throw up a picture on your actual feed of you drinking a Shakeology. We can put that up in in our stories every day, but to put that, be your post that's going to show up every day in your feed, it's not going to really be adding value. Just like if you're putting up a sweaty selfie every single day as your main picture on Instagram or Facebook, the value's not really there. So you want to make sure that what we're posting on social media has intention and really has good presence behind it. And that's where having either a plan for your month or a general plan for your week is going to be really important to be able to add the value. And then being consistent here with team encouragement and with engagement within your team. So I'm sure you guys have several team pages out there, so making sure that you're contributing to your page. All of you guys showed up on your team call today to contribute and be a part of the team. But again, the more you lead from the front to encourage and recognize what the good things that other people on your team are doing, the more that's going to be paid back to you in the future by contributing to your team page. And also trying to take on whatever leadership roles you can early on, whether that's asking questions of coaches that post within your team pages. They don't have to be your coaches or clients, but contributing by answering questions and kind of being a visible leader within your team. So one of the things that was hard for me to figure out, and I've recently figured out what's going to work best for me given my current schedule, is planning out basically 15-30-minute intervals of a typical day. So this is just a random day that I put together in what my schedule looks like on a day-to-day. So if you see on top 4:30 wake up call, I am not a morning person. Let me make that loud and clear. If I could sleep in every day, it would be amazing. I am a chronic snoozer. I hit the snooze 1,000 times. I even have put my alarm clock on the other side of the room, get up, hit the snooze button, and then go back to bed, because they say if you have to get up and turn your alarm off, you won't go back to bed. Well, I've done it, and I've done it multiple times in a row in the same morning. So I am not a morning person. But when I know that by 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm usually out my door and starting work, and then when I get home, I'm too tired to work out. I'm crabby. I don't have energy. Morning meltdown came around. So I was like, this is when I'm really going to take control of my life and learn how to be a morning person. So even before morning meltdown, I kind of started to work towards this. But my alarm goes off during the week at 4:30 in the morning. Sometimes I snooze till 5, but my alarm goes off at 4:30. I'm still working on that, getting up and jumping out of bed piece of it. But I wake up, I drink my Energize, and I come to my desk where I'm at right now, and I work on something business related as my Energize is kicking in. So whether it's responding to messages that people sent me overnight, whether it's sending out invites, whether it is kind of going through making my list of what I want to work on for the day. I take that 15 to 20 minutes or so to work on my business activities, to get going and get up. Then I get my workout on, so that by 6 a.m., depending on if I'm doing one workout, 2 workouts, sometimes I get caught up in the business activities and it's 30-40 minutes because I'm really into whatever I'm working on. But by 6 a.m. my workout is done and I'm starting to get ready. So then when I'm getting ready in the morning, I make sure that I turn personal development on right away. I start with something short, whether it's, Miracle Morning, whether it's a business book, or if it's just something inspirational that while I'm doing my hair, putting my makeup on, I put it on a speaker so that I can hear it as I'm kind of moving throughout the house. It's typically trying to be something that I'm not listening and having to take a ton of notes on. And then I share my stories, throughout my morning routine. I share my sweaty selfie in my stories. I share my shake. I talk about sometimes even the business activities, but I make a point to try and let everyone know that I woke up at 4:30. I'm not a morning person, and just really, talking about how as a busy person, you can get stuff done. So then I go to work. I'm driving to work typically. So between 7 and 8, I'm driving to work, and depending on how tired I am, I listen to music or a little bit of personal development to get myself going before I get to work. Then usually 8 to 12, I'm out of pocket, phone's away, not looking at anything. Then during my lunch break is when I try and check in. If I'm going to have enough time, I'll respond to some messages. If I'm not going to have enough time, then I leave my messages alone because I don't want to start reading messages and not actually be able to purposefully respond to them. But I check in on my IG stories. Sometimes at this point, I'm talking about, something I learned on my personal development that morning, just talking about the day, spreading some love and putting some encouragement out there. And just do that for a few minutes during my lunch break, which is typically from my car because I do manage the 15 retail stores that Tuesday through Thursday, sometimes Friday. I'm usually driving during this period too. So I'll be driving, listening to personal development, stopping in my car, eating, checking in on a few things, and then popping into my next store. And again, now I'm working the afternoon. My phone's away. I'm ignoring all of social media, and people are hopefully responding to the messages that I've got out there. And my post schedule is scheduled to go off at some time. And so I have my posts generate and schedule automatically for me. So that then again, there's comments and likes and things like that to follow up on. Then I try during the week to have 90 minutes somewhere in the evening that I'm going to work on my business. It might be right when I get home at 5 o'clock that I sit down for 30 minutes or 60 minutes, check in on team calls, work my business. But it's not always the same. So sometimes it's right at 5 I do some. Sometimes I have friends, family, people that I'm going to spend my time with. So sometimes it's going to be pushed to later in the evening, but I try for that. I try for 90. Sometimes, honestly, it's not always 90. Sometimes it's 90, but I'm watching TV while I'm sending emails or following up on invites. But I try for, that dedicated time to do more of my follow-ups, my team calls, checking in on the national wake-up call and doing that business activity in the evening. And then this is where my planning of my post comes into play. I have found a lot over, my first year. I'd be really good at doing posts for a couple weeks, and then I didn't know what to say, and I would spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I have a picture, and I don't know what the heck to write with the caption, so I don't do it. So I have, in the last couple months, been very intentional that every other weekend, I take 4 to 6 hours between Saturday and Sunday to plan my posts for the next 2 weeks. So, and then I schedule them all. So it might be Friday night or Saturday that I kind of think about what are the topics that I want to put, and then try and generate the words that go with it, and see what pictures that I've been able to take that are already kind of in my folder of photos that are available, or what photos am I going to need that I might need to take over the weekend, or make a note that over the course of the next week or two before I plan that post, I'm actually going to need to post it. So I use later.com to actually schedule out my posts. I don't know why some of them don't show up here, but you can see I've got a series of posts that are here. I use OneNote. It's just a notebook that's on my computer. You could use anything really to actually take each week and plan out, all right, August 12th, this is what I want to say, and I need a photo of me. And I'll highlight that photo until I find one that I want, and then I plug it into here, and then really all I have to do is copy and paste it. And so I kind of do it a week at a time, and I start with what are the topics I want to cover, and then what can I say about that, and if I need to search for something, to have that variety that's there. And then plan out okay, what photos am I going to want to put with this, and do I have them created already, or do I need to do that? There was one weekend where I just was at my parents' house dog sitting my sister's dog, and I just went in their backyard and took all kinds of random photos with my tripod to save them for a day when I didn't have a post or a picture of something that might be available, and did a couple outfit changes. So did I use them all? No, I have 15 of them that are still available that I can use in the future, but just to try different things out. And so I plan out my content. Right now, I'm kind of in a phase where I do 2 pictures and a quote, and then 2 pictures and a quote. And so, I find the quote that's going to match whatever, I'm trying to say or whatever I'm looking to say. And that way my content is very intentional. As opposed to another sweaty selfie with some words about joining my coaching team, or something, kind of along those lines. So I think for me, figuring out how my schedule is going to work, what tracking system or tool I'm going to use, and then having a much better plan for my post is how I've been able to, have success and figure things out around, working a job 60 hours a week, driving and being in school. Those are, the things that I've been able to do and be successful. So that's what I wanted to share. So if you guys have any questions, hopefully those are some good ideas or things you heard already, but heard differently and from somebody else. So thank you guys. That's all I got.
You guys can unmute yourself and ask questions if you have any questions. Yeah.
I'll ask something. Was that schedule the same when you were also in school? Was it very similar? Like,
No, it wasn't. No.
Okay. I was just curious if you planned like that as well when you were in school.
I mean, I did plan, but that's like my more current schedule. I did not wake up at 4:30 then. When I was in school, it was, I had class every other Saturday. From 7:30 to 5 o'clock. And then I had like work that I did during the week. I was taking like 4 or 5 classes at a time. But I think you just got to figure out what like works for your schedule but having something, set up. The other thing I did from a planning standpoint, there's no planner that exists that starts at 4:30. So I made one in Excel because like most planners start at like 7 or 8 and like half my day I'm done with already, I feel like, by that time. So now I don't necessarily map out as often the 15 minutes, the 15 minutes, 30-minute intervals. I kind of do have a general rule, but when I was really trying to figure out like what's my schedule going to be, that's when I like literally did map out every 15 minutes until I kind of got into a routine with what it was going to look like.
So I'm going to read the chat to you if there's any questions. You don't have to scroll through. Let's see. I see one from Cassie. So she's at, or like Trisha said, what do you guys use to schedule posts? So what do you use?
I use later.com.
Later?
Mm-hmm.
Later.com.
It doesn't work if you have a creator account though on Instagram. Then it just sends you a push. I don't think you can use any scheduling tools that are going to automatically like schedule for you if you have a creator account on IG. I didn't realize that, but it just pops up with a notification, and then you can copy and paste everything over to schedule.
Okay, cool. I typed that in there so she could remember.
Yeah.
Also,
I see one.
Bailey.
What?
The app Preview. That's the one I use, and that one works really well.
Preview. Okay, cool. I've used Planoly, but it doesn't work as well. It was like getting messed up. It was weird. Can you stop? Don't do that. Planoly, creator, later. Okay. And then I see, so Cassandra asks, is it inappropriate to ask about income as an emerald? I know people say rank doesn't determine income, but curious emerald to emerald. So you don't have to like necessarily give her anyone can.
Well, I think obviously if you are a diamond or above coach, you're probably having more cycle bonuses. So, it really depends on how many coaches versus clients you have. If you have a ton of clients and you're bringing on new clients all the time, then you might stay in emerald, but you are generating a lot of clients with potentially repeat orders. But if you're pushing towards a rank, you're likely probably focusing on converting people at the bare minimum to be discount coaches, and then you lose, those commissions on future purchases. So I think that that's what you have to decide where you're at and, how bad do you want to be diamond versus, and do you think you can get some working coaches to kind of replace and go along? So I think that I don't know, as an Emerald, I think I'll be honest, my income's been inconsistent. There are months where I make a lot of money and earn a lot, but then I've had a lot of crazy things happen in the last year that have caused me to, basically restart my team over. There was a phase where I was dealing with like a major harassment case for my day job at work where like someone was stalking me and I had to get the police involved and like basically got off social media for a while, which wasn't good for my business, but like I was terrified for my life at the same time. So, sometimes rank isn't necessarily always going to equate to income. It just depends on like what your goals are. But I think growing to diamond and growing above is when you're going to see bigger cycle bonuses and, team bonuses, and you're building that team below you. So unless you're a low rank with a ton of clients that like keep getting purchases month after month, rank probably does matter, in my opinion.
Yeah, so Emeralds only can max out $250 a week on cycles. Yeah. Right, Marie? Do you get paid 16 as an Emerald or 14?
So the cycling bonus is an Emerald, you max out at $250 a week. And I remember when I was making kind of the shift from Emerald to Diamond, a lot of my working coaches now didn't go into it as quote unquote working coaches. So I kind of approached them like, I feel like the discount coach kind of kills the working coach from the start, so people kind of get trapped in that. But I noticed that a lot of my coaches that they save money by being a discount coach, right? Obviously, you're going to kind of lose a little bit of that, 25% commission, $25 to $30 something, for Shakeology. You convert them to a coach. Now we're in that cycling. But I found that I feel that they stay on Shakeology longer when they're saving and when they're part of that community, and then people realize, hey, I'm kind of already doing what a coach does. I'm working out, I'm sharing my journey, I'm influencing others to do the same. Then they get a couple friends, they become Emerald, and when you start developing that quote unquote Emerald factory, when you have a lot of people that are at Emerald and a lot of people that are saving, that creates a lot of volume, and then your business is going to shift from, oh crap, I need to sell a bunch of stuff to pay my car, to I'm building a team. It gets away from you and you're still getting paid on Thursday, no matter what kind of happens. So obviously I feel like in the beginning, you're going to build your business. My whole Diamond, when I was first a baby Diamond, was a house of cards based on discount coaches. Nobody really did anything. My original Diamonds from the beginning, they're all gone now. It's going to kind of be like that in the beginning. You're going to feel like you're drowning, but eventually it'll get away from you. So, but I think Emerald is 14 a cycle, Ruby is 16, and then Diamond is 18. And then you can start double dipping once you hit 2-star and all that. So, and triple.
Yeah, so I mean, like I've worked off of commission for like a year until I started finding coaches that wanted to build a business. So it's really going to depend. I mean, I'm a lifetime 1-star, but I'm a paid Diamond, and I probably make what an Emerald makes. Like, it really just depends on what you're doing, how you're building your team. If your people you're signing up are staying on auto ship and are building their teams, and if you're training them right. So it's a whole system, and you have to be able to find those discount coaches that just want the discount on the products, but also be sharing with them, like, you can pay for your products. 3 people a month, 3 friends a month. Like, you could pay for your products, and you don't really have to even coach anyone, because we have the communities and they get like 10 coaches in the community, So you always want to be bringing in those people that want the discount and want to build a business. Like, you have to find your business builder. So,
and I like that point you made in your coach group the other day, Bailey, real quick, about like people being inactive. Like, you're like, I'm broke, I'm inactive, like I don't know what to do. Like, use this business to turn your mess into your message, to move yourself forward, because this is not only a fitness gift and a mental gift, it's also a financial gift. So step into that fear and just go for it, because don't overcomplicate it, and have fun, because you can do it, especially after this call. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, if you're inactive, it's just like a coach I have right now. I got in contact with her yesterday because I haven't talked to her in a little while, and she's having a rough time. And she was a working coach, and then she kind of like fell out because she's just, anxiety, depressed, like PPD, whatever. So she's inactive, and that's the one thing when she got into coaching that she worried about so much. She didn't want to be inactive to let me down, right? And so I was like, let me help you. Be a part of our new coach mentorship September 2nd, blah, 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 whatever. You can be inactive. It's fine. I will help you hit Emerald, and you can make money to pay for your products. Like, fuck being inactive. Like, you need to go through a training, you know? So if you have new coaches that are inactive and they're like, or even discount coaches, offer them, like, you can go through this training. We provide it for you, and you can make your money back to pay for your products. You don't have to sit there and be sad that you're inactive and can't afford it. You can make the money to pay for your products back, plus money for diapers and food and whatever. Like, you just have to set those goals. So if you're a coach on here and you have a bunch of inactive people, like I probably have like over 20 coaches inactive right now, and I reach out to every single one, you know, hey, do you want to try pumpkin shakeology with us? Give me your testimonial. Like, a bunch of us girls are going to have like a basic white girl group going on, you know, just like reach out and give them ideas. And, you know, cause maybe they just think like, oh, all I can get is Shakeology and Performance Line. Like, I'm bored, you know? And so, you know, maybe they just need like that extra push. Like, hey, you can make the money to pay for those products and see a little bit of money go into your bank account every week. If you actually have the desire to, like, if they love the stuff, they're going to want to pay for it. I don't want to have to pay for my own Shakeology. I want to like make money with coaching to pay for it. So anyways, I think that's it. We're good to go. A couple of us are going to stay on. My team, please stay on.
Yeah.
Courtney's.
Stay on.
And then we're just going to talk about giving you a couple like tips for hitting Success Club. And then we're talking about some groups we're going to run. So if you want to stay on for that, you totally can. But just letting you know it's okay to go if you need to go.
Hey, so the Fit Crew has a streak training, but I can still give some tips if you want me to.
Go for it.
Sweet. This was so good.
Yeah, that'll work. Can you guys hear me? Cool. Craig and I are like on computers right next to each other, so it does this echo thing if we are both have our sound on, so sorry. Anyways, for those of you who are pushing to hit Success Club, which I hope all of you are, I heard something the other day, I think it was in Keith Callahan was talking about how he had a coach that was like, came to him and said, man, I'm so disappointed, you know, it's 3 days until the date that I had this goal set, and there's no way I'm going to make it. I'd have to find, like, for this particular goal, something like 4 coaches to sign up with me. And I'm so disappointed. He was like, you have 3 days. Like, are you freaking kidding me right now? He said, do you think you're going to hit this goal? And she was like, no, I mean, I don't know how I could. And he's like, well, that's why you're not hitting it. Like, you don't think you can. He's like, I want you to go and I want you to spend like a day getting your head straight, like listening to all the personal development, pumping yourself up, getting yourself into the headspace of, I am capable of building whatever team I want to. So if it's Success Club for you, I am capable of helping 3 people. I am worthy of helping 3 people. I am creating the leader that helps 3 people, and just like over and over and over, you got to brainwash yourself to not be an asshole to yourself, right? Like, that's kind of how that works. So we've got enough negativity that is coming into our heads for you not to contribute to that. You're going to have to be doing the opposite times 10. Get your head right. Realize that you absolutely can, and now it's time to get creative. So here are some of the ways that I've gotten creative. There have been multiple times in my business that I'm not proud of where I was slacker McGee and got to the last day of the month or 2 days of the month and didn't want to break my streak of hitting Success Club 10. So it's like, okay, I have 24 hours to find 5 people who want to join my team. Like, Craig, you want to sign up for a challenge pack? Like, but the way that I was able to do it is I basically I think Tony Robbins was the one who had said this, like, if I was going to kill your dog and children and all of that tomorrow, if you didn't sign up 5 people, like, where would you start? And I said I'd start with my dog and my children, but that was me being a smart ass. You know, they don't want to die, so they'll sign up. No jokes, no smiles from the team. It's too late. Okay. So basically I'd go through and I'd think of who are my 20 in play? Who are my people who are closest? And then I start setting up dates with them, like in person. So with my team, they know I call this going skydiving, like when you've got the man strapped to your back and like you're freaking the F out and he has to just barrel roll you out of the plane because you don't think you can. And then it's joyful and you're having fun and it's the greatest thing you've ever done, but you're like a pussy bitch the whole time you're in the plane. It's kind of like that. So we just need to strap ourselves to the backs of these people and just pour belief into them / barrel roll them into their health and fitness journey. And the best way to do that is, and for me, it's seeing them in person. So if you're someone who recruits really strong online, then it's going to be getting your face out there more, maybe doing a live video, posting a transformation story, like posting the best transformations that you have, because unfortunately, I wish that all the unicorn jazz and like self-love sold challenge packs, but it does not. Abs sell challenge packs. Like mindset transformations do sell challenge packs. Like if you can say, this is where I was and this is the negative place that I was in and this is where I am now, and tell a little bit of that story so they can relate to your before, that's going to be much more powerful than telling them like, I've got a challenge group and this is what comes with it. They want to hear your story. So I recommend doing that. Same thing in your stories, making sure that you have lots of transformation stories and lots of opportunities for them to opt in. So we need as many polls up, options to drop their email address, options to drop their information, so that no matter what time of day someone is clicking on your story, they have a way to reach you, to let you know that they need help. So, so yeah, dates, like in-person dates, getting people on the phone. This works best for warm market. For me, it's not worked as well stranger danger style. Like if it's just a total stranger, getting them on the phone is an extra step that I find most people aren't willing to take. But if you kind of know them, meet up with them. Otherwise, it's time to just send love and messages. If you think someone's close, sending a video message. If they're warm market, you can say something like, hey, I really want to talk to you about something that I'm kind of nervous about. Is it cool if I give you a call? And the curiosity is going to kill them and they're going to give you their number. That's with like warm market people that you kind of know in person. So if you don't know them in person, then it's just making it a logical choice for them, letting them know that you're going to be there for them, making sure you isolate their objection. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, dude. Isolate their objection. So if they're giving you a money objection, other than money, is there anything holding you back from getting started? I got to talk to my spouse. Okay. Other than talking to your spouse, is there anything else holding you back from getting started right now? If it is I don't know if I can like have time. I don't know if I have time to do this. Other than time, is there anything holding you back from getting started right now? Because that's going to help you much more quickly get to the bottom of their fear. And then you can pour your belief into them and then, see where it goes from there. But that's my advice. Cool. And Fit Crew, if you're like really pushing to hit Success Club and you want to stay on and listen to other people's, that's totally cool. But Craig Schmidt is teaching Streak on the Fit Crew link. So that's what's up. I love you. And Bailey, you're an amazing leader. And Courtney, you're an amazing leader. And Marie, you're an amazing leader if you're on here. Yeah. And other people that might be leaders.
You're the best.
Love you. Colton's taking over for me tonight.
Okay. I can share mine. You want me to share mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So last few days of morning, I get into a lot of like Carrie says, but more of like a desperation mindset. So who are the people that would buy ice from you, like seriously, sand. What would they, people that would literally support you no matter what. And then any person that says that, like, not right now, or they have objections, work through those objections. And if they're still like, no, ask for referrals. Ask for people to connect you with other people that might want to do this. I've had people put me in like group chats before. I've had people just send people to me. That's always ask for referrals. Like totally understand. Is it okay if I just check in with you next month? But like, I'm really excited about this next group that we're having. Do you know of anybody that might be interested? And then asking for referrals in that way. Ask your family, like cousins, aunts, uncles, parents, like people that you work with. Talk to them in person. If you are in a workplace, chances are, like, for example, I work in a school. So if someone's doing something, everybody wants to know about it. They want to know, like, oh my God, what is she doing? I want to know what she's doing. Like, in the lunchroom, if you're sitting in lunch and someone asks you what you're eating, like, start a conversation with them. Like, people ask me about my food all the time, and it's not even that fancy. They're like, where'd you get that bag salad from? And I'm like, well, Kroger. So, like, have those conversations. That helps. And just follow up with every single person that you've ever talked to before in your entire life about this opportunity, whether it's them commenting on a story, whether it's like on a picture. Just get to the point, like she said, like, you're going to do everything you have to do to hit that goal. Because with desperation comes creativity. And the months when I have pushed for test groups, I don't know how I've pulled so much stuff out of my ass, but I have. But it's because, like, during those months, like, you just think, like, how can I make this happen? So think about that. Like, who have you not asked? I can't remember who calls it their chicken list. Who's on your chicken list that you haven't asked and you're afraid to? For me, it was my parents. I was, like, so hesitant to ask them. I don't know why. I think it's because they were my parents and I'm so worried about them judging me. But, like, ask the people that you've been afraid to ask. Chances are there are people that you are with all day long that you haven't even told your coach yet. So think about those people.
I think it's Ashley Phil Dyson that called it her chicken list.
It is it? Okay.
I just watched the video and she was like, chicken list.
And this sounds really crazy, but, like, put on music, hype yourself the F up, and then do your invites. Like, people feel your energy. If you're sitting there like, oh my God, I haven't hit Success Club yet. Oh my God. They're going to be like, they're going to just feel it. Like, they feel it. So do that. And get in their mentality of, like, thank you next.
The test group thing, like, me and Courtney have pushed for test groups, and we were like, we're gonna get, like, Success Club 30 to get in the test group, and then we end up getting, like, 56 points because we just like find a partner. Like, you have me, but you also can, like, branch out on our team and get like, how fucking dirty his face is. And find, like, a partner, find, like, a person on Courtney's team or on our team, and branch out with them and be like, hey, let's run together. Like, I want to check in every single day. Like, Trisha has been sending me her Success Club tracker filled out every single night on Snapchat. Like, that's the type of thing. You guys can Snapchat back and forth. Like, hey, where are you at? What are you doing? Like, how many people do you need to hit Success Club? Let's fucking do it. Like, who are we going to reach out to today? And that's what I was telling Danielle, because she wants to get, like, she has, like, 2 girls signing up by August 30th, and she wants 1 more to hit Success Club. So she's, like, she's been busting her ass tonight. Because I was like, what have you been doing for the past 3 days to get people, you know? So she's, like, laughing right now because I'm calling her out. I was like, and I feel like you have to give yourself a reality check. Like, what have you been doing all month to get people?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I ask myself, you know? Like, if I'm struggling, I'm like, what have I been doing? I've been sitting down doing my power hour and scrolling social media. Like, you have to just figure out, go back to people that said no in, like, 2 months ago, follow back up with them. Whatever it is, like, reach out to mom, dad, brother, sister, literally every single family member you have. just get that fear out of like, what are they going to think of me? They're just going to think I'm stupid for doing this. No, they won't. Like my mom is a lifer, Beachbody lifer now, because I made her switch from isogenics to Shakeology. And without her, I wouldn't be able to build my business, because like none of my other family drinks it or uses it. So the people that scare you, that you want to reach out to, just reach out to them like tonight. Send them a voice message. Like I was watching a video and she said that if it's like the end of the month and she hasn't really found people, or like they've all been saying no or can't afford it, she just sends a voice message to more people and she's like, hey, so I'm doing this like boot camp in September. It's going to be awesome. We're going to focus on self-care, self-love, like workouts. We're going to be empowering each other. Would you want more information? Easy. Like send out 18 of those tonight before you go to bed. See who replies in the morning, you know? But I get the whole thing with like, you find people that can't afford it. I get it. We all have that. Like I've been getting no one to say yes for the past like week. It's nuts. So you just have to like look at the people's page before you invite them. I was telling Danielle, like, these are the girls. Sorry, I'm burping a lot. These are the girls. I ate broccoli. I'm like burping out broccoli. These are the girls that I invite, and these are the girls I don't invite, because I can look at their profile and know, not being rude, that they're broke. You can tell by someone's like, kind of like by their vibes, like their photos and stuff, that they're not going to be able to afford it. And you can, you know, so you can just kind of like give their page a reality check. Because if you're just following them, or you don't really go like look at their pictures and you're just inviting, they're probably going to say no, because, you know, maybe you suck at cold inviting. Don't cold invite. Like go work through your warm market. I still have warm market I haven't worked through. So maybe you just need to like figure out if it's the cold inviting, if you're cold inviting too much. Because if someone cold invited me, I would tell them to suck my dick. Literally. I'd be like, bye. Like, get out of my inbox. I don't like that.
And something funny too that I've started doing is if they like are watching my stories, if they reply to a poll, I message them from my story so they can see the story that they voted on. And here I am because I'm responding to you. So that reminds them too, like, oh yeah, that's right. Like I voted on that. And then that conversation can start. I do that a lot. Or I'll be like, if you're talking about your boot camp, right? And then like all these people saw it, you bet your ass I'm messaging them from that story. Like, oh, I saw that, like, you been learning about my boot camp. Because then when they're going to be like, no, I didn't watch your story, lies. So they could have tapped through. But still, that starts a conversation. And I'll tell you, there are some people that I had one girl reach out to me last week that's been watching my stories, and I just hadn't invited her yet. So, like, there are people that are just, like, waiting for you to invite them. She's been watching me for, like, 50 days. Okay, so like people are going to take forever before they reach out to you. They're probably thinking about it, but if we don't do it first, it could be 3 months before they get the courage to do that, because that's like something really courageous to do. So just do it. If they ignore you, then they ignore you. But
well, and if you don't have the story views, like I seriously look at my story and it's the same views every single day, like the same amount of views, maybe not the same people. But that's, again, why I've been preaching the 5-3-1 rule. Go follow people. That is on the Success Club tracker, to set your timer for 20-something minutes and follow people, because they're going to come look at your stories. I literally followed people yesterday, and they're already watching my stories, and I've messaged them already. And I'm like, hey, like, I know you're new to my page, but I want to tell you what I do. Like, this is what I do. I run these boot camps. Would you be interested? Easy. Like, it doesn't have to, you know, they don't have to watch your story for 1,000 days and you be comfortable to invite them. Because they're already, like, you're already letting them into your world by your page not being private, and you're sharing your story out there. You're a coach now. Like, you share your life on social media, and people are watching you, and you can't be scared to invite people. So I just say, I was reading the chat. Wait, I saw pop up. Yeah, like, if they're watching your story, they came to your store. You know, if someone came to your store downtown, I was just talking about this, like, if you know how people say, like, I don't have time to be a coach. It's like, oh, do you not have time to go to your corporate job? Like, do you not have time to like go, like for Alexa, like, do you, if someone was in nursing school, do you not have time to study? Well, then why the fuck are you in nursing school? Like, you know, so you just have to figure out these priorities, you know, what do you want to hit Success Club? No. Okay, then fucking switch your stuff over to like, you want to sign people up with pumpkin Shakeology and 3-month fucking memberships. Like, you have to literally roadmap it out to like how many challenge packs you want to sell a week, how many invites it's going to take a day. Like, you have to get down to the nitty gritty. You can't just be like, I want to hit Success Club 6. Okay, how the fuck are you going to get there? Like, you know, I could say I want to hit Success Club 10 every month, and I do, because I map out like, these are how many invites I need to do. I don't follow the Success Club tracker very well, but I do know like what it takes for me to hit Success Club 20 and not be stressed out. So you kind of have to like sit down and figure out like a little roadmap as well. So anyways,
the next 2 days too, people are going to be gone this weekend. People are going to be all social media. People are going to be with their families. In the next 2 days, invite until people say yes. Just
well, and that's another thing. Like, they always said, like, you know how people go out on Friday night and they're gonna feel like shit on Monday because they have to go back to work and they ate a bunch of fries and like drink a bunch of beer, and those are the people, that's the time to invite. Like, on a Sunday night when they're gonna go back to work feeling like shit, people are going to go hang out with their families for Labor Day, and I know I'm going to, and probably eat like shit and come back feeling horrible Monday. So this is like the time to invite them. And if they say no, be like, what are your plans for Labor Day? Like, what are you going to go do, you know? And like, another thing is Danielle saw some girl drinking a pumpkin spice latte today from Starbucks, or maybe yesterday, I don't remember. We talked too much. Like, I can't remember what days our combos are. But I was like, okay, so reach out to her and be like, hey girl, we have pumpkin superfoods launching. I don't know if you'd be interested in more details, but it helps this, and you basically are getting a full meal rather than empty calories in a latte. And she knew the person, so it's not like you're just being that weirdo in the inbox. But that's another thing, is like, even though like Shakeology this time around isn't Success Club points, think of it in the future. Like, if you love Shakeology, that's 2 Success Club points if they get it on auto ship, and you're going to set them up on auto ship when you sign them up. Like, think of other ways. You don't have to just sell challenge packs. Like, you can sell Shakeology. If they can't afford a challenge pack, be like, can you afford $129 for a meal replacement shake? Like, that helps this, and this. This is why I love it. Like, you can at least be in our group, drink Shakeology, like, have an empowering community, and just do your own workouts. So you can also offer other things. Like, there are so many things to offer, but, you know, I feel like it's just pounded in our heads to sell challenge packs, which, yes, you need to be hitting Success Club. And after that, go fucking sell 3-day refreshes and collagen and all these other things. And that kind of leads into like the groups that we're planning to run. And that's why I wanted you guys to stay on to, is like, we have a ton of ideas that we can, you know, we have a ton of things we can do, like beauty groups. Like, Trisha has a beauty business. And so I was talking to her about like running a group where they just have to get collagen to get into the group. And then we focus on self-love, self-care, like beauty, get ready for 30 days, like put your makeup on, and just like use their testimonial after the 30 days of using collagen. And that boosts your team volume, and you're making commission, like you're making money off of it. So if you're on this call, you guys are frozen. I don't know. Am I frozen? No? Yes? I don't know.